scores to throw. Drew Pearson. He got it. Touchdown.
All right, welcome back to Drew Pearson Live, and today for our Hail Mary hero, we have Billy Ray Smith, and there's no one that exemplifies a Hail Mary hero than our guest, the former football player and basketball player at Kansas State. Now his goal is to simply walk again. Billy Ray, thanks for taking the time with us.
Appreciate it. My pleasure. My pleasure.
Before we talk about your desire to walk again and everything that you're doing to help that along, let's talk about your career. I mean, you were an outstanding athlete at Garland High School, averaging 25 points or more a game. You got an opportunity to go play college basketball because of that. Tell us about your experience over there at Garland High School and what led that to Midland Community College and then to Kansas State.
Yeah, like you said, back in Garland, back in '88, middle '80s, was a pretty good high school basketball player. Great winning tradition. Coach Brooks won about 25 games a year, freshman on varsity. You know, back then that wasn't, heard of, pretty common. But had a successful year there, All-American, this and that, and wound up going to Midland Junior College, where we went down there and won a couple junior college championships. Actually lost by 1 point. A lot of people may not know, but Mookie Blaylock, former NBA player, but we lost him in the game right before the championship and lost by one. So we really felt like we would have won the thing if he would have been healthy. But nice year there. I think I was like the top 9 JUCO All-American in basketball. Wound up going to Kansas State and playing 2 years there with Lon Kruger, another successful coach. And walked on after that and played 1 year under Bill Snyder. Another big guy that's really a Hall of Famer this year, I believe. But real successful. But the only reason I was successful is because, you had great coaches, great team atmosphere, and things like that. It was, team, not an I. So I was successful in that piece.
So you went there, you completed what? Your commitment to basketball there.
Yes.
And then you just decided that.
Yes.
Now you had a friend that kind of talked you into it. It just wasn't your idea. You saw somebody else doing it, gave you the idea.
Yes, what it was is my last year, I knew I had another year to finish up eligibility-wise as far as academics. So he talked me into it. He had played junior college football. He said, man, we're 6'5", 6'6". We can go out there and play defensive end or tight end. Most basketball players make good, tight ends. I hadn't played since middle school, so that was like a 10-year layoff for me. So I said, if I go out there, I'm going to go out there and play defense. And that's what it was. I went out there and I walked on at Kansas State. And back then, the Big 8, to be honest, they really wasn't winning many games. I think in that 3-season span, I think they won 1 game. But, of course, they've changed that program around and was successful to play 1 year of football under Bill Snyder.
Well, it's pretty rewarding that you were able to make that transition like that and get that year in.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you had a knee injury. Now, did that occur while you were playing basketball or football?
No, to be honest, the knee injury, it came later on. It was something that after I finished college and worked 3 years at a Job Corps, and then I came back and worked with Pepsi here in the Texas area. And 20 years later, after coaching some high school track, I noticed I started having some knee issues. My knee started giving out. And at that point in time, we're thinking of some old injuries. But I went to the doctor, and he said, you probably just got a torn meniscus, some little day surgery.
Right.
Be up and going 2 or 3 days later. But in routine on that, 8 weeks later, I'm still on crutches and, get blamed for not going to rehab and things like that. And I'm like, well, hey, wait a minute, I'm a 2-time sport guy. I know what it takes to get back on my feet. So to kind of make a long story short, 5 months later, went to a specialist, and they found out I had a herniated disc in the middle of my back, which T6,
that was causing all the pain and numbness and stuff.
Yes, and what that does is, T6, T7 is right in the middle of your back. Your heart's here, and the issue's right in the back. So what it is just restricted the flow of your nerves. So that's what I was getting really weak, waist down below. So in the process of that, we wind up going to another specialist. And everyone said, you got to get that taken out. So at that point, decided to go ahead and get that taken care of. Went and saw the surgeon, and Did that, and it wasn't successful.
Right,
Let's
right.
just let's just go that route.
Right.
So, did the
So
surgery.
you had the surgery, and then you woke up, and I guess the first thing you asked, or they asked you to move your toes, move your feet.
Yes.
And you couldn't.
Yes, and that's when I knew something just wasn't right about the situation.
Yeah.
I had the surgery, and when I got out of the surgery, they actually sent me back to do an MRI right after an 8-hour surgery, which was only supposed to take 3 hours.
Wow.
But hearing that and knowing what was going on at the same time, didn't freak out or anything. But I do know the next couple of days, the doctors kept coming in and touching my knees and touching my lower body parts and said, can I feel this, feel that? So that's when I knew something just wasn't right.
Yeah. So your motivation is there. You knew something wasn't right, but you stayed motivated even when you found out that
Right.
your mission
Right.
was to walk again.
Yes, and I think just dealing with sports and, people like Lon Kruger, Bill Snyder, just all the things that I've learned in sports, and you're familiar with it, that we train for 4 quarters, in basketball, football. Not only we do it for 4 quarters, we put it in our heads to go above and beyond. We're practicing for 5th quarter just in case you have the overtime
Right.
and things like that. So that's kind of what it felt like. It felt like, okay, I couldn't move my legs or anything like that, but it just felt like they were tired and, hey, it's just a matter of time. It's running the extra laps when the coach have you doing things like that you do in practice, but you say, I can't go anymore, and then, he continues to push you. So it just felt like I just needed pushed and things like that.
So what's now for Billy Ray Smith?
Right now, for Billy Ray right now is I'm still rehabbing. I'm making some progress. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not where I was 3 years ago. But I'm making some progress. So what I'm doing now is I'm rehabbing and, like I said, making small gains. Recently, I haven't worked in 2.5 years. Pepsi called me back. I've been with them 20
Nice,
years.
nice.
So they asked me to come back, work with them Friday. So that's a blessing.
Oh, amen.
Yeah,
Right
so
on.
with that being said, that'll kind of help me get back to go into the right rehab because the insurance will be able to cover some of the things.
Oh, nice.
And like I said, I will be able to walk. I mean, my determination is definitely there. Just using some of the principles that some of these coaches have been using. Bill Snyder has a 16 goal principle that he used, and there's some of those goals are just, never give up, continue to push, and, just don't be, do not lose.
Yeah.
Do not accept losing. So those are some of the things that I've learned over the course of some of the people that are successful.
All right, Billy Ray, good stuff, man. You are a true Hail Mary hero, man, and thanks for sharing your story with us
Well, I
today.
appreciate it. I
God
appreciate
bless
it.
you, brother.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
All right, up next, grilling and chilling. Doc and I are going to cook up something special for you for game day snacks this weekend. Drew Pearson Live continues after this.